All right, guys, I'm starting now. So, a lot of our players were asking about what numbers represent, and some of you guys obviously know what the numbers represent. But we're gonna start from the founder of soccer, of course, is British English. So the way it was founded, obviously, based on 4-4-2 tactic for everything, and every number represents these positions. So one is represents usually keeper. So even if the keeper is wearing a different number, one usually represents a goalkeeper. And number two represents a right back in defense or a right wing back. Okay. And number four represents a center back, center defender. Could be like a stopper, aggressive center back. Five is usually represents a center back that is a little bit more of the leader, like more like a sweeper sometimes. Sometimes what Italians call it a libero. Libero pretty much means the leader, the maestro, the guy who organizes everything from the back. So five usually represents that. Left back is number three, also represents a left winger. And then we got number 6, 8 is a center mid. 6 is usually like more like a D mid, and 8 is usually like a center mid. Number 10 usually represents a playmaker and a forward. Number 10 is usually the hardest position to play and hardest to find, especially in our country. It's the most creative player, a playmaker. Number 7 is the right mid, and right attacking mid could be, and left side is number 11, attacking mid left or left midfielder. And number 9 is the center forward usually represents. Please take a picture of this or write it down. And you can write this down as well, or take a picture of it. These are the clear expectations of these players. So I hope you guys can read it. Let me know if you can read it. Yes, we're going to be talking about that, Ajit. Just take note of these. This is not for us. This is just explanation of what the positions represent. And once we get all the positions, what they represent, we're going to go into our system and how these numbers represent our system. Okay. So next one, I hope you took a picture or write it down, especially at a center back and outside backs. And next one, guys. I hope you guys are reading it. Trying to give you enough time to read it all. Like I said, some of these doesn't fit us, but I'm going to explain to you how they will. But it's important for all of you guys to learn what each position represents, because like once we hope that a lot of you guys are going to go play college at a high level or pro, and honestly those coaches are going to just call not positions but numbers. They're going to be actually coming to you and saying, okay, you're going to be playing number 7 today. I want you to play wide and I want you to be attacking, and you don't have to worry about coming back, for example. So you need to be able to know these numbers and what they represent. I will, Danielle, I will put that, I will send the pictures later. But I hope you guys are reading right now as much as you can, because we need to really go over stuff. All right, and the last one. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be sending those. Don't worry. I just wanted to give you guys a, little heads up there with that. I'm gonna be showing you guys a couple things in here. Hold on just for a second. All right, so we play a 3-4-3 system. Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys right now, what do you think the center guy should be out of the numbers that we were talking about? What number should be our center back with the numbers that we kind of go over? And I explained at the beginning to myself too. Yes, some of you guys couldn't read that, but I actually explained it in words. If you were here listening, what the positions really represent. Can you please type something down and let me know, what do you think about this player? What number should he? Don't look at the numbers there because some of them are not going to be the same. Okay, Jason says 5. Why 5? What makes the center back number 5? Why? Jason has the right answer, guys. So number 5, as we talked about it before, is also called the libero in Italian. It's the playmaker, it's the leader, it's the maestro, the guy who leads the whole team from the back with the keeper. So number 5 is a good number for him. What about the outsides? Like the other two center backs. What number should they be? If that's Sam or Eileen talking for Marta, it's not the strongest, but the most leader, the one that talks the most, and it has to be pretty solid in positioning. The center backs we're talking about, the outside of the number 5. All right, guys, all of you are wrong except Wesley. They will be both number 4s. Because they're center backs, they're not leader, they're more like a stopper type. So what we talked about 4, that actually fits into the description of these. So for our system, when you play with the 3 back, 5 will be the libero, the guy who's going to be a little bit deeper than the other ones, and who's going to be facing everything and making decisions. Depends on where the ball is. He's going to be leading the rest of them, and 4s are going to be the ones to do most of the defending work. The moment the ball goes behind the number 4, that's when the 5 is going to be doing his action. And at that moment, when the 4 is covering the 5, 4 is going to become 5, and 5 is going to become 4 once the ball is outside. All right, so I'm going to be continue. I'm not going to ask you guys because obviously you guys made a mistake with the number 2 and 3 already. You think they were center backs. They're not. Number 2 and 3 can be outside backs and outside wing backs. And also it can be outside mids for us. So here is what I'm going to show you guys now. Another you guys said that you can't see the numbers there, but I'm going to explain something to you guys. So this is a different setup. We're not talking about any of the forwards right now. I'm going to be showing you guys what this represents. So the guy on the right side, the way we play when we are in attacking position, once we have the ball, let's just say number 6 got the ball, right? Outside guy becomes a number 7. So he's an offensive outside mid. He needs to be using that whole lane, this lane right here, and once we have the ball, they need to be attacking. But once the other team has the possession of the ball, he becomes a wing back, number 2. Understood? Do you guys understand that? So in a 3-4-3 system, same thing on the left side. Obviously, when we have the ball, it's an 11. and once we lose the ball, it's number 3. Okay. And in a D-mid system, guys, number 6 will be representing more like a D-mid, more like the defensive muscle. He is the one that is running back more. He's going to be joining in the defensive line more. He's sometimes even going to go inside the defense to help out with the crosses especially. And number 8 is going to be doing a lot of the same things, but he'll be a little bit more offensive minded, a little bit more of a passer, a little bit of a brain. Okay? So I'm going to go back to this visual again. Oh my God. No, that's not it. So you see it in here, it says 10 and 8 because there is not enough. We cannot do, in this graphic, I cannot be changing the numbers unfortunately, but 5 is the center back, 4 is the other center backs, and 6 and 8. And this will be 6, even though it says 10, don't worry about it right now. And this will be 8. And this one, like I said, number 3 and 11. And this one right here is 2 and 7. And this one right here, now we're going to be talking about these guys. They are an 11 and 10. So the moment the ball is in this side right here, this guy is going to be number 10. And this guy is going to be staying as 7. And the moment the ball goes up there, this guy is going to become 11. This guy comes back to center to complete the triangle. And he's going to be number 10. Did you guys understand that? Any questions about that part? So what is number 10's role? The moment he's in that gap, he steals the ball and he has to play make at that point. And he's in a center position to be able to see the field. So unfortunately in our games, guys, either we're not making it very clear, but maybe this video is going to help you guys out. The moment the ball is all the way on the right side, I hope you can see the mouse there. We need to be able to slide. That's what the coach is yelling about. Slide, slide. Maybe we're not making it very clear. We'll work on that, guys, but we need to make sure we do this every time. Look at how we slide, and even this guy slides in. If the ball is here with a right back, let's just say I'm going to add a player. The right back has the ball right here, let's just say, and add another player. Add another player. All right. So if the ball is here, this guy is going to be there, and this guy is going to be here, right? So if the ball is there with this player, okay, we need to make sure that number 11 steps to this player, number 7 comes to the gap, this guy, and if he's even looking to open the game, he's going to be sliding to here to be able to steal the ball, as well as this guy is stepping to that gap. One of them is going to be deeper. The opposite side guy can step to a little bit in here. And this is actually a pretty decent shape. Once the player, number 2, their right back, has the ball right there. Does that make sense? So if this player makes a long ball, number 2 can step and steal the ball and one-on-one with the keeper and score a goal. And last year, Steele has actually scored a couple goals and assisted a couple goals doing that. We call that cheat. So when parents and players, when we say cheat, we're talking to the opposite side player to cheat early. That also means it's a cue for the right back to be stepping forward to that gap more to cover that area right away. Does that make sense? Is the number relative to the team's positioning? So not these numbers on there, but I already talked about what numbers are for us. I'm going to rewind back to here, even though some of them doesn't have it yet. I eliminate in this graphic, I eliminated the forwards because I'm going to be working on something. And I'm going to let you guys know what we're working on in a second. Any questions about this, guys? Please ask a question. I can go back and forth the two graphics. I'll rewind back to this real quick. I'll rewind back to this. So for us, guys, let's look at this. Number one, our goalie is a sweeper goalie type. He's going to be active. He's going to be coming out. Our right back is also number 2 and also a number 7, right? So it's going to be a right back, right midfielder type of player. So he's going to be going back and forth that whole line, okay? The moment we lose possession of the ball, do not step up and try to press the left back. You need to come back to defend the forwards. So they need to come back. So sometimes I see and hear the parents yelling at their right mid son or daughter, step up, what are you doing? Maybe at this point, their job is to come back and reshape the team so we do not give the other team a lot of options. If we are behind, we're going to be playing that number 2 more like a number 7, and we're going to step him up higher, especially the last 15-20 minutes, okay? And in that case, he becomes a number 7, and yeah, that way they can actually step up and pressure. That also means that number 4 on his side needs to be stepping up to cover the gap up there when he leaves that space. Does that make sense? Number 5 is our center back, the brain of the defense. Number 4s are on the outside center backs. Yes, it's kind of like that, Ajit. So let me see. Number 6 could be, we could sometimes play with 2 number 6s. One of them is not, they're both going to be more defensive, depends on what type of players we have. Jason, I'm going to try, but I might mess this up. All right. So, but usually we are looking for a 6 and 8. One of them a little bit more skillful and technical. The other one is going to be doing a lot of defensive work. Okay. And number 9. Now we're going to talk about this number 9. I want you guys to pay attention to this really carefully. So I keep going to this one. I don't know why, guys. Sorry. So number 9. There's a couple things about number 9 we need to know. Okay. One, number 9 could be a poacher. A poacher, please write this down. A poacher is a guy who's always trying to go behind the defense, looking for that long ball diagonally and going behind one-on-one. He's always trying to get inside the box and try to get one-on-ones and try to be right in the blind spot of a defender to score goals. Wesley, there's 2 number 4s, one of them on the left, one on the right side, yeah. But did you guys hear me about the poacher? Do you guys understand the poacher? Please say yes if you understand what poacher does as a number 9. A forward, a poacher. Unfortunately, a lot of our forwards, when we put them there, they do not know their role, what they're supposed to do. Like, let's just say, we're going to rewind back to this real quick. This is a number 4 in the game. Even though it says this is 6 and 8 in the game, this is a 7, okay? So once 7 has the ball in here, a poacher will be making a diagonal run to the shoulder of the player, and when the ball is released, he'll be one-on-one with the keeper, going diagonal this way, bomb. Poacher is always looking for those opportunities to go behind. They are the perfect forward. They are always active. They are always moving, always giving options to the players. That's a critical number 9 role. So what is a target number 9? A target forward. Target forward is a guy who or girl who's a physical presence. He's or he or she is going to be able to hold the ball away from defenders once he gets the ball and win headers, hold the ball enough to allow our midfielders and our defenders to push up, and we still keep the possession. You cannot be a target forward if the first moment you get the ball, you lose it right away. Unfortunately, just visualize our teams. One of our biggest problem is a target. We don't have a target forward. We have only one or two, and usually the best target forwards are the defenders. Because when I put like on the older team last year, we tried to put Kyle Kosanovic, the right back and center back for us, but he was a tall presence and he knew how to defend, he knew how to hold the ball. So he went in there and became one of the best target forwards we have. But unfortunately, a lot of our teams, our forwards, they try to turn right to the player and they lose the ball so quickly. So, expectations for this 3-4-3 system. And number 9 for us need to be able to do the poacher and target forward together. So they will be very, mobile, always moving around, always trying to go behind defense. But once we get the ball to him, he's also able to hold the ball and allow our midfield to step up and join the attack. Does that make sense? Please let me know if you understand. All right, so real quick. So what if I ask this number 9 to be a false 9? A false 9. What am I asking? There's a couple different things I'm asking. What is a false 9? Yeah, Eric, so what you're saying, if he checks in between, that makes him a false 9. That's exactly what a false 9 would be. Isaac, I don't think Messi was ever false. I mean, he's an outside player. He's a lot of things. I mean, yes, he can play false 9 here and there, but no, that's not the perfect example, really. Yes, Jason, it's more like what Eric Cruz said there too. It's more like a number, false 9 is like a number 10. So if a coach in this system asks for a false 9, that means, now pay attention to this, that means the coach wants the other ones to be wide and last option. Because now, if false 9 is getting the ball, that's going to make the defense more compact. And when false 9 gets the ball in this gap, now he can see these through balls to the outside players. If you make that change throughout the game, and sometimes I do, that's going to confuse them. Because usually they know the outside midfielders, outside forwards for us, they come back to the center and play like a number 10. But if I call a false 9 and that type of player, then we can go wide and then we catch him off guard. Did you guys hear what I just said there? Critical tactical change right there. Messi was a number 10. Is a true number 10. You need to be a forward, a number 9, to be able to actually be a false 9. Like a false 9 now, Ronaldo in Juventus, he's like a center forward, a target guy, but he checks in and becomes a false 9 sometimes. Messi was never a center forward type of player. Let's move on from that, but like just focus on what I'm saying. I know you like to be right about stuff. That's great for you, but let's focus. Now, the number 9 checking into this gap is going to mess up the defense's shape and allow the outside to be there once you get the ball to them. Using false 9 is good. Like target guy, by the way, can do this a little bit too. They can check in, not too far, but check in. And when he checks in, you can recognize that there is an option up there and you can actually give that option. But a false 9 can come deeper. They can actually see the ball around here and open the game for him, or have some combination passing there. So going back to what Isaac said, Messi would do those here with Xavi and Iniesta, combining on the outsides, not from the center forward area to there. Does that make sense? Good question. Ajit is asking, what are the advantages and disadvantages of using a false 9? Now, using a false 9 means you want to possess more. And you want to make sure that you are you have a skillful technical team, and you can actually have a little bit faster and strong outside forwards, outside players to be able to join the attacks as well. That's going to be opening up a lot of space and time for you. False nine can also help with the combination passing with the two center mids, and they can create a lot of triangles to get out from the center to the outsides or center to behind the defense. Isaac is sending me newspaper articles. Dude, what did I say? Messi played a false nine on the outside. The way we play false nine is from the center. From the last guy, he checks in from the center. You are a distractive force, Isaac. All right, we're going to be moving on. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, though. Number 9 stays in the center place, keeps the center backs involved, and if we make him a false 9, he comes from the center and pulls one or two of the center backs or messes their shape up when he comes from there. Does that make sense? It's the coach's choice. Ava wants to know if they're going to play with a false 9. I mean, honestly, false 9 is a pretty hard job. You need a very technical player, very smart player to be able to do that. More like a number 10 kind of role, but also can make a run inside and finish a cross if it needs to be. But most of the time, the way we play is a target slash poacher number 9. And that's why some of our forwards who are not quick, who are not physically winning balls on air, they're not the perfect ideal candidate for our kind of number 9. Does that make sense? Another thing I was going to say, you remember how I said some teams we cannot have one creative center mid, and some teams we can't have one creative, one defensive center mid. Sometimes we get two defensive center mids, which is two number 6s, right? So when you have that, a false 9 might be a really good choice for you, as well as a very active outside forwards, which is number 10s when they come back to the center, right? So once they are there in the center, they could be really useful for the creativity, because if you have two number 6s, you're not being very creative. And some of the teams we have, unfortunately, one center mid is not that creative, but they're doing an amazing job defending, right? So if you have two of those, the outside forwards or the false 9s involvement with the playmaking and the offensive side is critical. Does that make sense? I'm going to show you guys something. So this number 2 has the ball, let's just say, okay? This number 2 has the ball, and number 5 obviously going to give me a little bit drop, and number 4 is going to be here, and let's just say this guy is here, and number 7 is checking in. In the game, what we see from our offensive players, okay, number 11, and most of the time we have like hard-working forward, let's just say, and like Sam. Sam is an amazing forward, offensive, pressure-wise. He's probably very impressive for his young age. But he's doing a lot of the work, and unfortunately, what we see is Sam makes a run to number 2. And this number 2 passes number 5, and Sam is trying to do this run, and they either pass it here or pass it back to number 2. So Sam is getting tired back and forth, running without a purpose pretty much, okay? But if Sam presses to this guy, and a lot of times this is what we see, this guy kind of comes close, but not close enough to block the number 5's pass. And number 7 or the number 10 on the opposite side, number 7 and 10, like I told you, this is number 11 and 10 role. If he's all the way here, he's not really helping. And that's one of the things that we keep yelling at our forwards. Try to slide here. Because if you're here, and of course the opposite side player is going to be here. This guy is going to be stepping to this gap. This guy is going to be stepping here. this guy here, this guy here. This guy's going to get closer to this guy right here. We're going to be blocking a lot. They're not going to be able to open the game, okay? Because this is going to mess them up big time. But we don't do that every time. We need to be able to do this every time. And honestly, it was so much fun once the Steelheads last year got this down. And some of the forwards last year couldn't do it physically. They weren't fit enough to do it. So I had to sub them out a lot. But every time we did it, it looked incredible. Like the other teams better than us, like more talented, faster players than us, they look like mediocre teams. So if we can block them from seeing the easy options, and every time block it over and over again, they seem like the number 2 up there is going to see like we're playing 14, 15 players. Like they're going to be like, oh my God, these guys are everywhere. And that's exactly how fit you need to be off season. That's why I'm asking everybody to be doing their workouts, because this is a lot of movement for forwards and the center mids and outside mids. And honestly, the defenders, they need to get in shape. But if they're not in the best shape, if they can do sprints fast enough, they're okay. But the most people that needs to be in shape with the system is the whole midfield and the forwards. Okay, so if we can complete this shape, we are golden. Okay, we're gonna be. Sometimes we're not gonna be able to do it. Yeah, sometimes we're not gonna be on time. But the fact that we're going there is gonna make them make mistakes. Okay. When one of the teams I coached was Cascade High School back in the day. And we played against Snohomish High School. Back in the day, Snohomish had academy players, and they were #1 team in the nation. Okay, they were better than any high school team in the whole United States. And we beat that team. And one of the things I remember, we did this 3-forward system with the sliding, and Snohomish kicked the ball out to throw in 42 times, the most skillful technical team. They kicked the ball out to throw in 42 times in the first half alone. Like imagine 42 throw-ins we had to take because we made them panic. We made them make mistakes. So philosophy, write this down. Skill will win games for sure. But the way we play, okay, sometimes we beat better teams than us, skillful teams than us. Why? Because pressure breaks skill. Pressure breaks skill. Okay, please write that down and give me a thumbs up, or you understand it. Please let me know right away. Is there any questions you guys might have right now? Any questions about this? Like, for example, like, do you understand how this fits into the system? Do you understand? Can anybody make a comment about number 7 and 11? The outside forwards are also number 10s. Can you make a comment about you understanding that perspective? Please make a comment about that. I'm waiting. So I understand that. And if you have a question about it, you can too ask it. If you didn't hear the question, I'm asking if you guys understand why number 11 and 7, the outside forwards, are also number 10s. And I'm going to show you something. So this number 4 and 5 is the center backs of the other team, right? And if number 5 has the ball, number 9 is going to be stepping, okay? And if the ball is in the middle, they're going to be creating the triangle like this, okay? Ready to step to that player. This guy's ready to step to this player. Wataru is asking, when should we start pressing? Well, the moment that the first presser, like what we talked about, Wataru, like the first presser is the key. So let's just say number 2 gets the ball. Number 11 needs to be stepping. That means if this guy is running, that means we need to be running. Number 7 needs to be running. And number 2 needs to be stepping, okay? So that's our cue. But if he's not coming, and stepping right away. Sometimes we just need to be patient, right? We can back up, and that gives enough time to these guys to back up and maybe pressure around here, okay? And because you're not going to make it on time. And this guy can be going with that guy too. Does that make sense? All right, one question came, guys. Hold on. Hold on just for a second. One question came. What if the right back drops it to the goalie? Okay. Let's just say the goalie will be here if a right back drops it to the keeper. Obviously, if the situation is like this. So this is a good question. So right here, the pressure is going to be from number 9. Number 7 should be coming into here because this is a dangerous play if they pass it there. So number 8 and number 10 and everybody should be pushing up at this point to these gaps. This guy needs to be worried about a long ball possibly, but like right here, do you understand? Like we need to be stepping to every angle forward because a short pass is going to be possibly wide. And so these guys got to be aware. This guy is going to be aware in that case. Does that make sense? I'm going to add one more thing. So sometimes we're going to be playing Milan. Milan is an Italian team. A lot of you guys know. Some of you guys don't. Some of you guys don't follow soccer as much. So sometimes we're going to play a system, guys. We're going to say Milan. Okay? So when I say Milan, the moment we lose the ball to number 5, let's just say, I want the whole team to come back when we say Milan, and we're going to reshape ourselves in our half only. So we're not going to be pressing in the other half until they get to our half. And we're going to be doing our shape there. So let's just say they are attacking. This guy has the ball. We're not going to step to him. Okay? We're not going to step to him. We're going to be welcoming them. I call them the welcoming party. So if the number 5 is coming with the ball, 9 is going to step, 11 is going to be coming here, and number 7 is coming to this gap. That means this guy's going to be here, and that guy can be stepping between here if he wants. If he's going, cheating, that guy's going to be sliding to this gap too. You understand Milan? Same thing, we're just doing it in our half. Like when we play like a team that is 10 times faster, quicker, and very good at possessing the ball, you're going to make the defensive area smaller. And when you do that, like Milan actually played this against Barcelona when Barcelona was with Iniesta's, Ronaldinho's, all like the amazing like Barcelona back in the day. And Milan did this, and they actually end up, I think, winning once and then tying one game against them. They contained this like unbeatable Barcelona. Okay. So everybody understand that? All right. I'm going to be moving on to this screen. So the reason I created this now, I want you guys to pay attention again. Let's review the numbers again. Number 1 here, goalie. Number 4s, 2 number 4s. I know you said you can't see the numbers, but these are number 4s. And this is a number 5, a little bit deeper. And this is a number 6. This is a number 8. And 3 and 11 and 2 and 7, right? It's 2 different jobs for these guys on the outsides. All right. So the reason I want you guys to confirm this, the reason I don't have forwards right now, sometimes our forwards get tired, and sometimes we get caught dealing with the whole attack with these guys, the 3 defenders and the 4 midfielders, right? So we're going to be defending sometimes with 7. How do we defend when we do this? And that's why we do a lot of the workouts in training. We always finish the training with 5 versus 5s or 6 versus 6s to get this shape clear, okay? So I'm going to show you guys a couple things. So if this player has the ball, obviously number 6 is going to be on that side and stepping to this gap, and number 8 is going to come back to center and deeper. Now this is what happens sometimes, unfortunately, guys. This guy is worried, oh, he's going to pass it here, I'm going to step to here. That gives this guy to be able to check into this gap. Remember, that could be a good number, false 9, and he can pass a ball to here. This guy's one-on-one, and he scores a goal. Okay. Let's go back to here. So if this guy is stepping to this guy needs to be deep. What if we're behind and we want to step to that? Understandable. So if he is going to here, defense needs to communicate that well. The pass is going to go to him. He can step to this guy. He can send the player. Number 5 can send that number 4 there. Or he can say, I got him. You cover me. All right. And you're going to make the shape like this. You can do this. But this requires communication. If the number 5 just steps without communicating and this guy is also thinking about stepping, this leaves this big gap. Any long ball, this guy's one-on-one with the keeper, especially if the number 3 and 11, number 3 right here, let's just call it number 3 because we're defending right now, is sleeping. So we want to make sure we do that. Most of the time, though, we want these guys to be doing this. And in the game, if you do have the outside forward, they should be coming back too. But in this case, we're going to be more compact when this guy has the ball, and we're going to be defending it like this. Don't overcommit and get beat, because if we get beat, he's going to have a lot of space to go. So you just need to step and be patient with it. Like parents are yelling at you, some of the fans are yelling at you, go get it, go get it. But you just need to know when to get it. If you get caught, especially outnumbered, and the other team is attacking, our forwards are being lazy. I mean, think about a couple lazy forwards in your teams. If they're being lazy and not being involved with the defending as a team, then you're going to have to make sure that you contain them. And in this case, you can't be man-marking this guy. You need to be here too. Why? Because if he beats the guy, you can step. I mean, if he goes beats him, you can step too, yes. I mean, but you guys need to be communicating and creating those triangles in the field every time. So if the ball goes wide, obviously this player, and one of the biggest mistakes I see in soccer, please pay attention if you play an outside mid, the ball is moving to this guy, right? The number 2 is seeing that, so he runs to the ball, he's trying to make it. If you can make it and cut this ball forward, get it. But if you know the ball is already going to that player and there's nothing you can do, please run deeper than the player. We just assume every time. The best defense is what? We assume the worst. The worst in this case, this guy is faster than you, stronger than you. If you're cocky, you say, oh, I can beat anybody. I can take the ball from anybody. That's good confidence, but still be deep, because now he has no chance to beat you with speed. Does that make sense? You just need to be deeper than him, because it's just, if he does one touch, if you're deeper, you just take the ball from him, either pass it back to keeper, pass it here, or clear the ball right away. Does that make sense? Please respond if you understand that outside mid shape, and then I'm going to move the whole 7 players, okay, working together. Honestly, guys, I know you think once watching this is enough, but I'm telling you, if I was your age and learning this stuff, I'll keep watching it, keep watching it, keep watching it over and over again. You have a lot of time in your hands. It's going to make a lot of sense. All right, so outside player gets, always see this guy's going back. If the ball is here, we're going to be a little bit closer, not too far though. You're going to be sliding. Do you see that sliding? This guy is sliding to the center. This guy, oh my bad. This guy is coming here, and this guy is coming here to complete this. Do you see that now? So if this guy is here or here, and pass goes to here, either this guy or that guy can step to that guy. And we're not giving a lot of options to have a shot. Does that make sense? Triangles everywhere. Now here is a big issue. Please pay attention to this part. I want to make sure every center mid and D mid and outside mid confirms that they're listening to this. Please say yes if you're listening to this. This is very critically important. Obviously this guy is deeper, right? deeper if the ball is there. All right. All right, now watch this. So let's just say these guys are attacking with numbers. There's a forward here, and there's a guy here. And let's just say number 6 was helping this guy, and number 8 hit the step to this guy, and this player passes the ball to this guy, and this guy has a space for a shot or a key pass, correct? It's a dangerous place, okay? Here's what happens. Number 8, a lot of times he's trying to recover to there, and number 4 is holding his position. Guys, he is not gonna make it. This is a critical point. Please pay attention, okay? He is not gonna make it. So this is when number 4 needs to step early, 5 needs to slide, and 8 is not gonna make it there, but he can make it here. Do you understand that? And now 6 is covering here. Now suddenly, our number 4 becomes number 8. This is 6. And 5 becomes 4. And number 8 now is the number 5 in the back. And we reshaped it. Do you see that? So this is critical because unfortunately, we let the other teams take shots. Because we wait, we see that number 8 is trying to recover, but he's not going to make it. He's just not going to make it. And you're just doing zonal defense, waiting for the right moment to step, and you take that much space to a player, he's going to punish you. Either he has a shot, he can score this if he has a good shot, or like he was here, I think, or he can see a pass to a through ball here, to a through ball here, or even back post. He has a lot of space to see that pass. So just because you see a center mid running to recover, I would rather have this back step early and say, cover me. Bomb is coming. And if he's too far from this play, he's going to have to come in here, and this guy can cover. Does that make sense? And this guy can go deeper, and obviously this guy is going to come back, and we are fine. Please make a comment. This is critical. A lot of times in practice, I keep saying this. Why is the defender not stepping to a shot? Or the player who has... If you give a player, I'm going to tell you straight up, my coach, the professional coach I used to have, Coach AC Milan, Fiorentina, Galatasaray, he coached the Turkish national team, amazing coach, one of the top 10 coaches in history. I mean, he always said, if you give a good player more than 10 yards, in this case actually 10, 15 meters, they're going to punish you. They're going to punish you every time. So let's not give them that space. We need to close the vision of the player. You give this guy, let's give everybody back. We have our 2 4s right here. And you give this guy this much space, he's going to punish you. Okay? So we cannot give that much space. So if he steps, slides, he was here, we came back here, he comes back here, he comes more compact as a team. Do you see that? Does that make sense? TJ, you have no idea how big of a point that is. When you have players like the Steelers so successful, remember like 6 goals, and honestly, let's just, if you have any Steelers guys in here, if you were a little bit more careful in corners and stupid fouls inside the box, I'm telling you, we would have broke a record that nobody ever seen in a semi-pro level or a pro level. We wouldn't have got scored on 3 goals. Because Steelers broke a record last year, 6 goals scored on the whole season. We got 6 goals scored on us. And I think we talked about it before. 2 of them were corners, I think. One of them was a penalty kick. One of them was a free kick. And and the rest of them were just insane shots from incredible areas that kid will never score a goal again in his lifetime. But let's just say we couldn't defend that. But corners, free kicks, and a penalty kick, we could have prevented for sure. Yeah. All right. So a question came. I'm going to go back to 11 versus 11 now. We're going to be going back to our positions, how we set up, right? Okay. So I'm going to be starting from there. I'm going to be putting their players. Let's just say everybody's plays 4-4-2 in the Washington State almost. So let's go with that. Let's go with. All right. All right. All right. So if this player had the ball, what do we do? If you get caught, he steps, he goes back to center, he is central, he is sliding in because the ball is all the way up here, right? So in this case, the forward is here. This player, an outside forward, needs to be up here, creating this. He is too late to cover it before, so he needs to be coming here. This guy needs to be coming this area to the central area to give the outside. If he comes on time, he will be doing this place, and that gives these guys enough space to cover even more. One person asked, what do we do with the forwards are there? I want this guy to stay as last guy as possible. So if they push it up to 50, stay on 50. Because if you come back, that allows one or two of the center backs to attack as well. That allows more numbers. You being the last man is not just because we want to do a long ball to you, because you keep them occupied. Does that make sense? Okay, so what if we stole the ball right here, right? We just stole the ball. This guy cut the pass, okay? So this is when the outside player can start spreading wide. This guy can see this option right here, and this guy can give a short pass option. This is a good time, maybe either we do a long ball to here to make a diagonal run to that area. That's a poacher run, right? But if this guy is a false nine, he's checking in, what do? We're going to go wide. Because this false nine gets the ball, he's going to release the ball, and we're going to be quickly getting out of there. Do you understand? Yeah, it also prevents, like Jason says, when you keep a center forward up there, if they drop the ball to center back, we take the drop option away, and if he does drop the ball to the center backs, we're not going to make it easy for them to do an easy long ball. Does that make it clear? Okay, so I'm going to go back to this 8-a-side setup. Okay. I need to talk about an important thing in here. Another important thing. So when you play teams that plays a typical English style soccer, okay, and a lot of Washington State teams love that. Okay, so when you're in this situation, okay, or even in that, or they can give each other drops, it doesn't matter. Like so when you have a team that requires, you know, constant outside back and outside mid involvement back and forth with each other, this is when you want to make sure that you assign before the game, coaches, you assign one D mid to be on the left side and the other D mid on the right side. So in this case, when the outside back and outside mid is so involved, this guy gets the ball. If you leave this guy alone up there, they're going to be making fun of him right and left. You can even pass it back to this guy. You can do a right back and he's in, right? But if you are smart, you're going to be involved and this guy's going to be involved. And that the triangle we're going to create is now with the outsides. Once we recognize that there's more than one to deal with, the D-mid needs to be involved with this So if the pass goes to here, D-mid covers. You do not run after the same player. You start covering him. That gives enough space for this player to cover back. And the D-mids are coming to the center, the other D-mid. And this player is going to be sliding to here. So, coaches, make sure you always assign a left or right D-mid. So that player, if it's the left D-mid, he's going to be helping the outside mid if the outside player is very involved with the play. Does that make sense? Please make a comment that or say that you understand this. Or if you have a question, please ask. When you say, can you clarify number 10, what part of the job that you want me to clarify? If you can explain that, open it up a little bit more. Number 10 role is a big role. It's a long explanation. So, and I just wish that you guys will be more involved and ask some more questions, honestly, because this is a good chance to learn. Because I'm telling you, it's going to be a lot less yelling by me in the games if you are more clear about what you want. I'm here to answer. Please take advantage of it. All right. We're going to have to go back to 11 aside. Okay. So number 10 in this case, once he slides, the defensive role is to slide to the opposite side to create the triangle. So if this guy here has the ball, and in this case probably going to be a center mid, right? So let's get rid of this guy, or the right back or left back or center back, whoever has the ball at that moment. So center back steps to this guy, other person is going to be here. If the ball is here, obviously outside forward is going to be stepping. Closest guy, let's just say in this case, is this one. So number 10 is going to be stepping to this guy. I mean number 9, my bad, this is number 9. Number 10 on the opposite side now. The 11 becomes number 10, comes to the here, right? And opposite side player is going to be coming here. We're going to be stepping high to these areas. Always like one person close to the other side, you see that? And I will say even higher. If he wants to be offside there, that's fine with me. Do you see the opposite side? We're going to be stepping up. So the opposite side steps in here because if we steal the ball, right here it's going to be an immediate goal chance. But he doesn't show himself all the way because he also worried about this guy. So if he's stepping on the opposite side, this guy is going to be stepping to this player more, and this guy is going to slide and bomb right there. Okay, so offensive role for the number 10 now. If we do steal the ball in here, his job is to open the game. So if this player is coming in, he's going to open the game to the opposite side, and this guy can make a run, this guy can make a run, and this guy can make a run behind for the through ball. So he is the first one to open the game. And if he wants to dribble in with the ball, he can do that too, and maybe pass it here or lift the ball up the back post to this player. But he becomes the playmaker in the offensive role. Does that answer your question, Joe? Okay, guys. So for the next Wednesday, I'm going to be setting up the board like this, the tactical board. And I want everyone for their positions. And I want you guys to start chatting it in the chat rooms. Please do so. Or Sports Engine. I want you guys to come up with questions. And coaches too. Please come up with questions for positions. What do you do in this situation? What do we do as a right back? What do we do as a right winger? What do we do as a forward? What do we do in this situation? I want you guys to come up with questions. We're going to be just question and answer on the board the whole session on Wednesday. Can I get everybody understanding this? Yes, we will ask a question. Please, you understand what I'm asking for Wednesday. I want especially the younger ages, girls, the younger boys, I want you guys to come up with questions because I know you have a lot. If you don't, if I put you on a lineup right now and put you in a game and I'm going to ask you, I want everything I said to be done. Are you going to be able to do it? and why wouldn't be able to do it? Because you have some questions, okay? So please prepare some questions for Wednesday. I hope this is a helpful session. I will not be keeping these videos up too long, so watch it a couple times. I will be deleting these videos because we don't want everybody to learn our systems. I mean, I'm not giving away all our secrets for sure, but this is gonna make it, funny enough, like some of the top coaches even sometimes think we play 4-4-2 because they don't really watch what we do. It's funny when I see some of the comments they make, or they say we're playing with 8 defenders. They say we're dirty, where they say a lot of stuff, but they definitely do not really pay attention to what we're doing, which is great. But I'm going to be deleting this soon. Please watch it as many times as you can, and I'll be sending individual videos just to the chat rooms, to our players only, and I have been. Please pay attention to those. Thanks for tonight. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you, guys.